Good morning. I'm going to introduce you to something you probably never heard of, or if you've heard of it, you've kind of wondered what it is. And this is it. This finger right here is called a trigger finger. You notice as I bend my hand, that finger doesn't work quite like the others. It gets kind of stuck. In the worst case situation, when I wake up in the morning, this finger just simply refuses to bend. There's so much pressure, tension inside of it. It's like the tendons lock up, and in the worst condition, it'll physically lock into a position, and I have to go like that to break the position. Every day I wake up, this thing is sore, and it's sore for um, usually a couple of hours. And some days I have to wear this. I put it on to keep the finger straight because the amount of discomfort in that finger is no good. So what I want to show you is, according to the Mayo Clinic, trigger finger is a condition in which one of your fingers gets stuck in a bent position. It may bend or straighten with a snap. And so that's when it gets into the really bad condition. That's the worst. It's terrible. It makes you nauseated. The pain's so severe. So that's trigger finger. And the reason for the video is that I somehow inadvertently found a solution to it. And I've had this condition for about maybe a year now, and it's developed finally after 40 years of clicking on one of these. You notice that's the finger. The finger, it's the mouse finger. And I figure 40 years of snapping on a mouse is just an overuse injury. There's just tension in there. It just will not bend. So how did I find a solution? Well, I went to the doctor, and he said, well, you could have surgery on your finger, and they'll open up the space around the tendon sheath. And years ago, I had a ganglion cyst right here. You might be able to see the scar. The ganglion cyst was operated on and removed. And I don't know if that's part of the problem with this finger or not. But when I went to the doctor, he said, well, take a dose of steroids, take a megadose pack for a week, and that'll reduce the inflammation, shut off your immune system, reduce the inflammation. Indeed, that worked for a little while, maybe for a week or two, and then it came back. Finger came back. So what's my solution, and how did I figure it out? This one you're going to love. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but it's called a Hypervolt, and it's a pulsating massager. So you turn it on, you put it at slow speed, and you can see that this head just vibrates. And I have a torn oblique muscle that I was using it on the other day, and so I'm going to show you. So if I bend my hand now, that finger just doesn't quite bend like the others. My solution that I just accidentally discovered was just to hold this round ball in this finger, and just kind of, I don't know exactly what the solution is, but I just sort of hold that round ball on that finger, and it very quickly vibrates that finger. I don't know if you can even see it in the video. It's vibrating it really fast. And as I start moving my hand now, you notice that it's functioning, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to exacerbate the pain that I'm having in that finger. I'm not trying to have a limited range of motion. All I'm doing is just holding that ball. And as that vibrates that hand, apparently it does something to the nerves in the finger, because after about 30 seconds, I have complete motion again. My finger's not stuck out. It just feels good. The pain goes away. I just sort of move that thing on my hand, and I let it move that finger, the trigger finger, back and forth. And it doesn't take long before my fingers are have complete dexterity. I have no issue with it anymore. That's all it takes. That's the solution to the trigger finger. And the only reason I found it was by accident, working on my oblique muscle, and I just happened to grab that and it felt good. And so I tried it for a few seconds and my trigger finger went away. So that's it. Thanks for listening.